Alright everybody, welcome back to Conqueror and Commander. Today we're looking at a game featuring the Devour for Power pre-constructed Commander deck. And this deck has not been changed. I didn't actually purchase the Devour for Power deck, I assembled it on my own, but it's the same deck list, so you'll see how it does in action. Today we're going up against Rafiq, which can be any sort of Bant control slash creature type of deck. Rubinia, who I've seen do a variety of stuff, including Enchantress, any kind of Bant thing. And then the Guru of Spores, Mr. Ghave. He's he's tons of tokens and sometimes turns into a combo deck real easy. Plenty of lands in this first hand here, so I'm pretty sure I keep this. I do. Rubinia starts off with the forest after an Evolving Wilds. Ghave goes Sensei's Divining Top first turn. I draw my 5th land, so at least I know Temple of the False God is going to be active. Halimar Depths from Rafiq. Soul Ring for Rubinia. And another Terramorphic Expanse type card for her. Howling Mine from Ghave. Okay, so everybody's going to be drawing cards now. I play the Dreadship Reef and put a counter on it, and I get rid of Tranquil Thicket. Rampant Growth for Rafiq. Rubinia has all her colors, and she ramps a little bit with Ranger's Path and Azoria's Signet. So I'm the only one that's not ramping. Oh, Ghave doesn't ramp either. I end up playing Riddle Keeper. How did Ghave miss a land drop? I completely forgot. Rhystic Study for Rafiq. That's actually going to come in handy because people aren't going to want to pay. Trinket Mage for Rubinia. Rhystic Study is like one of those cards that... Oh yeah, he Trinket Mages for Sensei's Divining Top. Rhystic Study is one of those cards that's really good under the right circumstances, and otherwise it's just good. You know, a lot of people don't like paying the 1 extra mana to keep people from drawing, and I know I try to make sure that I can pay it anytime I cast a spell, but there's just times where you've got to get stuff out of your hand, and you have to give your opponent that extra card. So yeah, Rubinia tutors up the SDT and plays Skyshroud Claim, doing a little bit of more ramp here. There we go. Ghave gets a forest. Plays Chromatic Lantern. So there's a little bit of extra mana help for him. I play Jwar Island Refuge. I don't really have anything else I can cast right now, so I just dump a swamp in the graveyard. Rafiq plays Joraga Tree Speaker and levels it up. Then plays Ponder. Rubinia has a lot of mana. Plays Kodama's Reach. And then Archaeomancer to get Kodama's Reach again. And then gets Flicker Wisp. So it's a Bant sort of like enters the battlefield type of deck. Let's see what Ghave does. Font of Mythos. Holy cow, Ghave is another group huggish deck too. Wow. It's gonna be a lot of cards. So first I play Dark Hatchling to get rid of something. I think the Archaeomancer. Yeah. I just don't want him getting all this stuff back out of his yard. I ditch Unnerve and a Swamp, because for me the discarding isn't really going to matter. People are going to have to discard anyways. Archon of Justice from Rafiq. Rubinia is going to come out to play. Oh yeah, and then Ghave quits. That's too bad because everybody was really enjoying all his card draw. However, there's Gale Powder Mage. Rubinia is out there now, so she's going to be able to steal any good creature that gets played. So I go and search for another forest so that I can play my Elder. And I attack Rubinia. Rubinia just has too much land, so she's target number 1. Rafiq draws another card from Sylvan Library, and then casts Life from the Loam, and Source of Plowshares on the Gale Powder Mage. And then Witchbane Orb. I've been seeing Witchbane Orb a lot recently. It's hidden back here. Here it is. And I mentioned it to this guy, and he's like, yeah, it prevents you from getting Sorend down to 10. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. And it's a card anybody can play. I'm not really sure it's necessary in all decks, but it can come in handy. And then he attacks Rubinia, knocking Rubinia down to 36. There's Mentor of the Meek. And then she steals the Archon. And then Kodama's Reach again. Worn Power Stone to ramp up a little more. And both of his critters go after the Rafiq player. I attack the Rubinia player again. Then I play Oblivion Stone. And I blow things up. There's just too much stuff out here for... oh, and then, yeah, he Cyclonic Rifts his own Archon so that he gets it back. That's awesome. Don't forget, you can cast Cyclonic Rift without overloading it. And at first I thought about waiting on the Oblivion Stone, but both of my opponents are playing green. And I just don't want to run into Crows and Grip accidentally and not be able to activate my Oblivion Stone. Archon comes back out to play. Rubinia plays Boundless Realms. So yeah, obviously is going to be ahead on the mana race. And then she plays Skyshard Claim. That's a lot of mana. Holy cow. So, in order to try and catch up, I play my Yavimaya Elder. And then another land. And I keep Spell Crumple mana up. Right now, Rubinia only has one card in hand. That's the only thing that's kind of keeping her under control right now. Rafiq plays Compulsive Research. One of the interesting cards Rafiq discards to Compulsive Research is Temporal Fissure. It's interesting because a lot of the stuff he has in his deck doesn't cost a lot of mana, so I'm assuming he can get a storm count going pretty good in the late game, and he can bounce a bunch of stuff. But he discards it and he plays Selesnya Guildmage, which I'm fine with, whatever. Then he attacks Rubinia. Rubinia plays Sylvan Tutor for Phyrexian Metamorph. I sacrifice my Yavimaya Elder to get some lands and dig a little deeper into my deck. There's Solemn Simulacrum and Lurgoyf. So first I play the Simulacrum. I was thinking about playing Lurgoyf, but really I'm holding the Spell Crumple for Rubinia's commander. There's Stoneforge Mystic. Searching up Sword of Fire and Ice. His creatures go after Rubinia, knocking her down to 23. She tries to play Phyrexian Metamorph, and I'm fine with the Metamorph, but Rafiq is not, and he dissipates it. So then he tries to play Rubinia, and I Spell Crumple it. And then the Rubinia player concedes. So it's just me and Rafiq now. I play the Butcher because I know I'm going to lose at least one creature here soon to Rafiq with the sword. And then I play the Lurgoyf just as another blocker. Archon I can do nothing about because it flies. Well, I guess I could have bought. Well, there's a Wrath. And I lose my Temple of the False God to the Archon. Now, luckily, there's enough creatures in the graveyard for me to be able to cast Avatar Woe cheaply. This is exiled. And now I can cast... Oh, and he also casts his sword. My Mimeoplasm, because there's some fun stuff in the graveyards. And I exile his Archon, and I make a big Butcher of Malakir. So, 2 decent-sized flyers right now. And I can also cycle my Slipstream Eel at the end of my turn. Or at the end of Rafiq's turn. So he plays Acidic Slime. Getting rid of my land there. And I go ahead and cycle my Eel. I get Sphogthos. And then he plays Hollow Burial. Getting rid of my Mimeoplasm. Sad times. So first I grab Eternal Witness to get Spell Crumple back. Because I want protection. Oops. I want protection in case he plays Rafiq. So I get Spell Crumple back in my hand. And I assume he sees this, and then I play Desecrator Hag to get Lurgoyf back in my hand. He plays a Signet and does nothing. There's Wonder. Sweet. So what I'm going to do is activate... Oh no, I'm going to attack with both my dudes here first. Knock him down to 25. And then play my Goyf, who's an 8/9 now. He makes a little dude. A little Sapperling with Vita Ghazi here. And then he tries to play Rafiq. And I figure he's got counter backup, right? So I Spell Crumple. No counter backup. He just forgot. That happens. You know, whatever. Not a big deal. I got Patron of the Nezumi so that whenever he blocks with the Sapperling, he still takes at least 1 damage. I go all out with my attacks. He still takes some damage. He drops down to 21. He's got 4 cards in hand, but nothing that he's playing right now. I activate Sphogthos. This is the first time I've ever activated Sphogthos. It's a 6/6. He Blue Sun Zenith to draw a bunch of cards. And then he makes another Sapperling. I've got a 6/6, a 6/6, a 9/10, and a 2/2. So he drops down to 6. Then I play Rupture Spire. And he basically says that all he drew was land and ramp. He plays Oracle of Moldiah. Digs a little deeper. Plays Explore to get the Mana Crypt. There's Simic Growth Chamber. Relic of Progenitus would actually hurt me pretty good. But he's still... he's got Well-Wisher. He's at 6. And then he naturalizes his Mana Crypt. Which makes him drop down to 5. I end up drawing Siphon Flesh. So he's going to have to sacrifice one of these creatures. And that drops him down to 4. And then I activate my Sphogthos. And I attack. And he would have been able to... Yeah, he would have died. Because each of these creatures would have died to each of my attackers. So that would have been game. And when each of these go to the graveyard, he would have taken 2 from the Hag. And then 3 more. He would have... Yeah, he's dead. So yeah, there's a win. With your friendly neighborhood Mimeoplasm. Hope you enjoyed that.